Ever wonder what happens when the leader of a nation sets foot in a city gripped by tragedy? And what does the president's visit mean for the community left reeling in the aftermath? Well, wonder no more. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the news as President Biden prepares to visit Baltimore after a deadly bridge collapse shook the city to its core. Get ready. This is one headline you won't want to miss. Following his visit to the site of the tragic collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge on Friday, President Joe Biden announced that his administration is swiftly taking action to mitigate the disruption at Baltimore's port and support affected workers and small businesses. After conducting an aerial tour of the area, President Biden revealed that the federal government will allocate over $8 million in grant funds to facilitate infrastructure enhancements at the port in Baltimore's Sparrows Point. This targeted investment aims to bolster the capacity of the port, located away from the bridge collapse site, enabling it to accommodate more ships efficiently. Additionally, the president unveiled plans to provide grants to workers impacted by the temporary halt in port operations. Furthermore, the Small Business Administration will extend low-interest loans to support small businesses that suffered losses due to the incident that occurred last week. Amidst a solemn gathering, President Biden's voice rang out with a solemn assurance, resonating through the crowd. "Your nation stands in solidarity with you," he declared, his expression mirroring the weight of the devastation. Addressing the tragic loss of 6 workers who had perished during bridge maintenance, he spoke with heartfelt empathy, acknowledging the profound ache in their hearts. Surrounded by dignitaries, including Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Maryland Governor Wes Moore, President Biden extended his condolences to the grieving assembly. "I've come to share in sorrow," he offered, his words a source of solace amidst the collective anguish, drawing from personal experience. He empathized with the pain of losing a part of oneself. Amidst the somber atmosphere, President Biden reiterated his plea to Congress, urging swift action to secure funding for the new bridge's construction. With determination, he spoke of progress made, highlighting the clearance of 2 small channels to aid debris removal. Offering a glimpse of hope, he referenced the tentative timeline for the port's reopening, recently outlined by the Army Corps of Engineers during a briefing. The White House announced that the Army Corps of Engineers anticipates opening a restricted access channel for barge container service and certain vessels transporting automobiles and farm equipment by the end of April. They aim to fully restore the port to its usual capacity by the conclusion of May. Alongside the aerial tour, President Biden received an operational briefing regarding response efforts from both the Coast Guard and the Army Corps of Engineers. Additionally, he was scheduled to personally meet with the families of the 6 workers who tragically lost their lives. In the early hours of March 26, tragedy struck as the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed following a collision with a cargo ship, shattering the calm of the morning. Amidst the chaos, the remains of 2 individuals who lost their lives have been recovered from the wreckage. Sadly, 4 others are presumed to have perished, while 2 fortunate souls who fell into the water managed to survive the harrowing ordeal. In the aftermath of the disaster, President Biden swiftly addressed the nation, pledging unwavering support and federal assistance to the affected communities. He assured that all necessary resources would be provided to aid in recovery efforts and vowed to oversee the reconstruction of the port and the bridge. Expressing his commitment, Biden emphasized his intent for the federal government to bear the entire financial burden of rebuilding the bridge. Director of the Office of Management and Budget, Shalanda Young, took proactive steps by sending a letter to congressional leaders, urging them to authorize full federal funding for the bridge reconstruction project. This initiative aimed to expedite the process and ensure that the necessary resources were readily available to commence the rebuilding efforts without delay. In a show of solidarity and resilience, President Biden extended his heartfelt support to the people of Baltimore, recognizing their strength and determination in the face of adversity. Standing alongside Governor Westmore and other officials, he reaffirms his unwavering commitment to stand by their side throughout the recovery process. With resolve in his voice, Biden offered words of encouragement, assuring the community that they were not alone and that together they would emerge stronger from the challenges they faced. The White House revealed last week that the National Economic Council had convened the administration's Supply Chain Disruptions Task Force, aiming to orchestrate federal efforts in assisting affected industries following the collapse. This initiative sought to streamline coordination and ensure swift support for industries grappling with the aftermath of the tragic incident. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg emphasized the progress made in mitigating supply chain disruptions, attributing advancements to enhanced collaboration and infrastructure reinforcement efforts. He highlighted the strides made in bolstering both physical and digital infrastructure, underscoring the importance of coordinated efforts in addressing challenges effectively. In a separate development, the Department of Transportation announced the allocation of $60 million in emergency relief funds towards the reconstruction of the bridge. Described by the White House as a down payment for initial expenses, this financial injection aimed to kickstart the rebuilding process and expedite the restoration of vital infrastructure. Reflecting on the significance of the Baltimore port adjacent to the bridge, Governor Westmore underscored its pivotal role as a crucial shipping hub and a significant source of employment. Citing statistics from February, Moore highlighted the port's impressive performance in handling a record 52.3 million tons of foreign cargo valued at $80 billion in 2023. He emphasized the port's substantial contribution to job creation, with over 15,000 direct employment opportunities and an additional 140,000 jobs indirectly linked to port activities. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll love it. Thanks for watching.